Go for it.
If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Henry Ford.
That's because at the time
they didn't have a car.
Oh man, that took a second to seep in.
Yeah, you have to know that it was Henry Ford that said it.
Yeah, I caught it at first, and I was like, Ford. Oh, and then the light bulb, finally turned.
Which
on.
Usually paradigm shifts come completely out of the blue.
Have you seen Year One?
Yes.
This is going way too fast. That's exactly, boom, it.
Well, and I love to point out that the automobile was considered a revolution that was going to save the planet, because the biggest contributor, and yes, we did know about greenhouse gases way back when, the biggest contributor, or so they thought, of greenhouse gas emissions was horse manure. And the automobile was going to save the planet.
How does that relate? Say that again.
So when the automobile first came out, they thought it was going to save the planet.
Yes.
Because the biggest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions at that time, allegedly, was horse manure.
I don't know. What had they done with the horse manure? Move it or what?
Well, right, but they can't stop it from emitting because it's methane.
Right.
Methane.
So that these dumbasses thought that created. Well, I mean, it's different than they ran off steam first.
No, gasoline.
Was it gasoline? I thought
there were some steam engines, but the first viable automobiles ran off of gasoline
because of the natural combustion.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. Yep. I'm stupid. That's why we call this average intelligence.
Well, but the funny thing was I've read some estimates that actually say that that's correct. That the automobile actually did decrease greenhouse gas emissions in comparison. Because you got to understand. So one car equaled multiple horses. So even if the output was the same, which we'll argue for the sake of argument, like a car probably does pump out more greenhouse gas than your average horse does, but you have multiple horses.
Depends on what you're pulling. You get enough together,
right?
You might as well.
And even for travel, most of the time for long trips, you didn't have one rider on one horse. You had horses pulling a wagon or a carriage or something like that, and that was anywhere from, I think, 4 to 6 horses on average. Mm-hmm. So that's
a lot of horsepower.
That's a lot of horsepower.
That actually reminds me of something. I was listening to someone. I don't know if it's backed by science or whatnot. So if anyone wants to fact check,
we'll fact check.
Fact check, yeah. What did we fuck up? Obviously, that's not a part of this. This is a different.
No, because last time we got it all right. No, I completely spaced it.
But so anyway, I want to say it was probably Alex Jones. So
it was the reptiles.
That dude, he knows a lot, and during that podcast, the newest one, Joe made sure and said, "Alex, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, this? Okay, where'd you get it from?" And then he'd be like, "Jamie, pull this up," and then I got the notes right there. And then Jamie pulled up, and the dude was correct.
Huh?
A lot. It was like, holy shit, that dude knows a lot. But anyway, he was talking about greenhouse gases, and he was talking about how the number one threat to Earth is losing our atmosphere. And
yeah,
he's 100% correct.
Yeah,
and throwing carbon into the atmosphere, not at alarming rates, not like, let's just go start, a carbon sequential factory and just pump a bunch of carbon into it. No, like he was saying that adding it back to it. He was talking to somebody. I can't, him. I was talking to this guy, and he was the head of the FBI. But anyway, so he was saying about carbon being in the atmosphere, and that it actually helped the atmosphere, and that's how they actually patched the hole in the ozone layer.
He's like a quarter right.
Hey there, it's Jake from the Average Intelligence Podcast. Hopefully you're enjoying this clip that you're watching. If you are, or if you're not, feel free to let us know in the comments. Even if you want to just tell us how stupid we are, that's totally fine. We actually believe in freedom of speech. You can find us obviously on YouTube, but also across other social media platforms, including TikTok. That's right, we are on TikTok, at the very least through Arte Media on TikTok, where you can go and see clips from the Average Intelligence Podcast or any of the podcasts in the Arte Podcast Network. They're all there in some capacity. And if you don't have TikTok, I've got news for you. You can download it by clicking the link in the description. And all that does is just tell TikTok that it's because of us that you came there. But anyway, back to the clip.
Well, I think that the Earth just has a natural healing phase.
Well, yeah, it does.
And
But
like
here's
anything-
and this is why carbon is so dangerous, because carbon directly doesn't cause the ozone layer to weaken. What happens is this, and this is not from me. This is from Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, where I learned this from.
Biased.
What's that?
He's very biased.
Oh, don't give me that. He's a scientist.
Oh yeah, well we thought freaking Bill Nye the Science Guy was a scientist.
No, he was never a scientist. He's
No,
a science.
and a lot of people get him wrong. You know,
Yeah.
they get his profession wrong. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, he's a scientist.
No,
You
he's
need
an
to listen to him.
engineer.
He's like, no, he's an actor.
Yeah, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson is an astrophysicist and director.
brilliant. He's brilliant.
Director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York. He's a very smart man. But anyway, so what happens is the heat from the sun comes down on the planet, and then normally it gets bounced up mostly from the water in the oceans. It bounces back into the ozone. However, when there's a larger amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, the heat bounces back down off of the carbon atoms.
Warms it up.
Yeah, right. So you get a bouncing heat effect, which is a large contributor of global warming. That's why carbon in the atmosphere is a big deal. Now, what Alex is probably talking about is the Earth does naturally have carbon in the atmosphere. The thing is that we're adding more to it, which is causing that heat effect to be affected.
Well, and the thing is, I think he also went into that. He was talking about, like what you're saying, the heat's coming back down to the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what he went into explanation was that carbon and natural gases down inside the Earth, you know, that all gets pushed back down, and eventually it's got to be used up somehow. So that, you know, those the whatever from the atmosphere needs to come back down, and you know, to level balance. You know, and like they say, you know, it comes back down into the Earth, and that's why it's good for us to use natural gas and all this other stuff. And I was just like I said, yeah, grain of salt. But the thing is, I'm sitting there going like, I don't quite understand this.
Because natural gas it does burn cleaner than coal, but it still does put
the shit out of it. The thing is, you'll just have to watch it. And
yeah, I'll watch it.
I get what you're saying.
I'll watch it, but I also have a hard time believing anything coming out of Alex Jones.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, watch.
But
it
I will say, he called Pedophile Island almost verbatim.
I mean, do you remember the video from Bohemian Grove?
No.
There was a video that was surfaced on the internet around early 90s, late 90s, and it was just like, it showed the rituals they do, like from a far away. You know, it didn't show anybody dying or anything like that, and you could just hear like screams and whatnot. You know, because you know about the Bohemian Grove, right?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. You got some Googling to do. Not right now, but look up. There'll be.
Is this a rabbit hole I want to go down?
It's a rabbit hole, and you would need the hat the entire time you're looking this up. But anyway, so
we'll take this for later.
So, yeah, dude, the Bohemian Grove is nuts. But Alex Jones actually he snuck into that island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's with a bunch of high-profiled Republicans. I want to say probably Democrats, but they were probably mostly Republican. But they were high-profile and very powerful people.
Yeah.
And they all meet at this island. And it's weird, man. They have like...
See, before Epstein, I would say that you're crazy. But man, I mean... And I heard...
The Bohemian Grove, actually, everything about it has been out longer than Epstein. Way longer than Epstein Island.
Yeah.
But the thing is, nothing's come about it because it's not...
Is this related to Pizzagate? They're QAnon?
No, not really.
No, not okay.
I mean, maybe. I mean, basically, leaders, in order to get into this, like, they did homosexual activities so they could be like, I got you.
Oh.
You know, so you say anything.
So basically, like, required blackmail.
Yep.
Huh.
And so they would do that, and the elder would, you know, blah to the dude. And so it was like...
Sounds like some cult shit.
Skull... No. What is it? Family Guy. Herbert.
Oh, no.
Get your ass down here. I'm tired of your ass.
Who wants popsicles?
I can't do that.
I used to be able to do it better, but I can't so much anymore. I kind of stopped doing that impression because it stopped being as funny because shit got real.
Yeah.
Like it used to be funny, but now it's not.
That dude anymore. I mean,
I still do, but you certainly. I don't think you would be able to get away with doing too many new jokes.
No.
Because it's no longer like again, things got a little too real.